Sam Bruce here with Greg Growden for ESPN. We're creeping up on the Super Rugby season, now just a week away. Greg, are you excited?
I am. We've got the board shorts still on, but it is summer. But in a World Cup season, this is when the Super Rugby really takes an extra dimension. We'll be looking at every trend, every sign to work out who's going to go. So mid-February, we'll start getting the early indications which country could be the threats for the World Cup.
We'll kick things off with the South African conference and starting up in Pretoria with the Bulls. A couple of key acquisitions over the off-season. How do you see their season?
I think they're the real smokies. I think they could well be the value bet of this tournament. I know they're about 15 to 20 to 1, but they have recruited very well. They've bolstered their pack. They've actually improved their backline as well. But it depends on their tactics, what their coach comes up with. But also the Loftus factor is important. Teams freak out going there, because it's a different type of ground. So Bulls I like. I think there's something about them.
Next up are the Cheetahs. You mentioned the Bulls the hooker, Adrian Strauss. That's a massive loss for the Cheetahs. They seem to produce all this fantastic talent, and then next thing you know, out the door.
Particularly this year, because the Cheetahs had really picked up. They were really good to watch about 2 years ago, but you're right, losing their skipper, their Springbok hooker, it's all over. But they've lost about 20 players. So I think Cheetahs, they're also rounds. I think, mate, forget about it. Like, I know Bloemfontein's a lovely place to go to, but no, forget about it. Forget it.
On to the Lions now, Greg. Improvers last season with 7 wins. Will they improve on that or drop down?
I think they'll drop down, Sam, because the point is, they were good last year, but I think they caught a lot of oppositions by surprise. Everyone's taken the Lions for granted for so long, and I think this year all the oppositions will be thinking, oh, we better take this game seriously. And also, they haven't really recruited that much, so I think they're going to be like the Cheetahs, back down the list.
I recall a couple of very interesting refereeing games last year for them. I think a penalty count against the Reds, 18-4 in Johannesburg. Stuart Berry, I believe.
Stuart Berry. That was one of the greatest refereeing performances of all time. I remember going back and watching the second time and thinking, if he ever gets another game, we'll leave it at that.
The Sharks, Jake White, he's gone. He lasted, 2 years at the Brumbies? He lasted 1 at the Sharks, now with Montpellier. I think Gary Gold's taken over there, but they've still got a fantastic pack and a very talented backline.
But most importantly, what about the draw? They don't leave South Africa till May. They've got 9 games in either at home or away in South Africa. So it is a fantastic draw. They can have themselves set up to be in a good position when they go on the road. And the Sharks are one of the better teams on the road, so they go okay. But you are right. I think Jake White leaving the Sharks will probably help them, because good coach, but he is a divisive factor. And I think they'll be far more settled there. And I've got a feeling if the Sharks can't do it this year, they'll never do it.
Well, it's 9 playoff appearances without a grand final.
Yeah,
You've really got a feel for those fans in Durban.
Well, I know they are persistent. The good thing about them are they are a pretty loyal supporter base, so they'll be there. But that draw is a dream for them.
Next up, the Stormers. Another team with coaching worries. Eddie Jones rumoured to be going there next year, which means it's just about curtains for Alistair Coetzee. The big one for them, obviously, that fantastic number 8, Dwayne Vermeulen.
Yeah, they're a good team. And Coetzee, I understand, is going to Japan, and Eddie Jones is floating around there as well. And there's been a problem. They've been real underachievers for a long while. They've had good packs, good backlines, but never been able to go over the line. I'm with you. I think they've got a very good back row. And again, it depends on their tactics. And I think that even the thought of a new coach may spark them up. So again, they'll always be where they always are. 6th or 7th, possibility of getting there, touch and go.
One massive loss for them. Springbok skipper Jean de Villiers, a wonderful player. Surely that's massive.
It is enormous. I think that will be the factor which will keep them out of the playoffs, because you are right. De Villiers has kept this rabble together for quite a long while. Without him there, who knows what the backline's going to be. It will become a far more forward-dominated team, and that won't work well with the local fans of Cape Town. They love attacking football, and if they start playing forward-based football, they'll disappear.
Okay, so it sounds like we've got the Bulls and Sharks on top. Who's your tip?
I'm going to go the Sharks, primarily because of that draw, but again, Bulls, good outside bet.
I'm going with the Bulls. I really like Andre Pollard as a player, and I think Pierre Spieth's back leading that pack. He's had a number of injuries over the last few years. They're my team in South Africa.